Most schools in Richmond County, like here at Murphy Middle, cameras are placed strategically around the school to keep an eye on everyone that goes in and out of each door. And officers can pull up a view of any of those cameras right from their office, even from their patrol car.
Rolling back in right now. They're about to load more dry ice on there right now. They're trying to get some of the weight out of the carnage of what once was a semi-truck that flipped over after hitting that guardrail. Then they will have a better chance of flipping it back over without too much of a risk of the whole thing flipping onto I-20. Of course, they have a team of deputies out here to make sure that doesn't happen. It all happened, by the way, around midnight tonight. They're still working on it over 6 hours later.
And just try looking through your own trash one of these days. You'll easily find things like paper and plastic bottles, which is a trend Dr. Amos wants to change. He says these things are easily recyclable. Wreckers, there is a wrecker crew down there on one of the trails that runs right along the canal, and they are trying to hook up attachments to try to get parts of that truck out of the canal. That truck isn't in one part anymore. There's also a dive team out there. I don't know if you can see them right now coming out of the canal. They have been trying to attach hookups to the truck so they can get the truck out. Let's go.
Now, in a debate in Nevada, you were against Yucca Mountain. You agreed with Congressman Ron Paul. You said that it should not be crammed down the throats of the people in Nevada. Are you willing to kind of tell people here in South Carolina that you are, as tons and tons piles up there at Savannah Riverside here?
No, I don't think you should force a particular state to take nuclear waste. I think you have to let the market do its work and make an offer.
Obviously, a lot of rural areas in this part of South Carolina alone, some that had unemployment up to 20% in the recession. How do we attract businesses to come to these small areas rather than overseas countries?
Well, we have to have a better infrastructure, so we have better highways, better railroads. We have to rebuild the port of Charleston so it can take the new, larger ships that are going to come through the expanded Panama Canal starting in 2014. I have a tax policy and a regulatory policy.
It's so funny. I was a reformer when I was in Congress. I led the charge on issues that were probably the least popular issues out there with respect to, cutting government and balancing the budget. And
Camp Semaphore is not your average camp. Cadets here are expected to crawl, jump across hurdles, and rappel off of walls.
Good job, sir. Good job.
They're racing against time to prove to themselves they can handle the real thing.
Probably one of the most rigorous activities we have out here.
There are 12 obstacles that are similar to the basic training soldiers have to go through. The huffing and puffing isn't just to build stamina, it's helping them build leadership skills along with building up their team.
Learn how to control everything and be an example for other people.
Something I want to experience, something that helps me get better, stay out of trouble and everything. So this is my guideline to keep my life on track.
Glenn Wright even overcame his fear of heights on this day as he made his big leaps down the wall.
Yeah, I'm scared of heights. That's why I don't ride roller coasters or anything.
Keep going, you got a couple minutes.
More motivation is the motto here as students are pushed to their limits against all the elements.
For one, it's hot, summertime, and the average teenager is not used to being in the hot this amount of time. Plus their heart rate goes up from 0 to a very high number.
But JROTC instructors have noticed a difference when it comes to fitness in their students.
We are noticing that a lot of the kids are not hydrating. They like the soda pops and they like that kind of stuff.
But for the students that do make it through the obstacles, it's not about the prize at the end.
I enjoyed it. The win, the feeling you're going down, the rush going through your blood, especially when you jump off and you're coming down.
They're focused on the experience that made them realize they can survive anything. When the people inside these apartments woke up this morning, they weren't expecting this huge tree in their house, but now they're having to be relocated. A tree twice the size of an apartment building was uprooted from the ground and came crashing down on Kendra Allen's kitchen.
It sounded like a freight train was coming through my apartment. So I was thinking it was a tornado, grabbed my son, I'm kind of standing still.
Surprised, pretty nervous, very scared because you don't expect this. And I was just wondering how they felt at 5 o'clock in the morning when this thing crashed into their homes.
Property manager Maria Donham spent the morning looking inside, where you can see a torn down kitchen, a home shredded to pieces on the floor, and remnants of the family that escaped in time.
If he was in his room, it would have been difficult for him to even get to me.
But the storm also left damage in other parts of Richmond County.
The most of the storm started around 6 a.m. 911 became inundated with calls.
Crews were already on standby, and they kept busy, going from one trouble spot to another.
Flash flooding on 15th, 12th, Walton Way. All of that has ran off now. We still do have some trees down.
Back by the debris at Iron Horse, workers are trying to clean up the mess and help the two families that are now without a home.
Thanking God that everybody is okay, safe and sound.
And I'm just really thankful that I'm alive, because it could have actually went further than what it did.
And by this afternoon, this tree will be cut up into pieces. That's what workers are here for right now. But still, these apartments are going to be uninhabitable for a few weeks.